Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana needs to get his hearing checked. Watch as he misses this witness's answer 3 times.
On November 1st, 2022, you tweeted, both Texas and Louisiana have their knives out for black immigrants. Do you remember that tweet?
I don't, but it's quite possible.
What Texans, it's not only possible, it happened. You're not denying it, are you?
No, I'm saying, referring to the context.
Who are you talking to?
I actually don't know the context.
Who are you talking to about who in Texas had their knives out for black immigrants?
Guessing the context, but my suspicion is that it has to do the Attorney General Ken Paxton and the Attorney General of Louisiana. I just did.
You don't have a name, do you?
I just said Ken Paxton.
You don't have a name, do you? You just said it, didn't you?
Just said Ken Paxton.
All right, how about...
I say, boy, now listen to me, boy. Give me a name now, boy. Foghorn Leghorn, that's who that guy is. And he's been horrible in these hearings from before. Watch.
The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is. The reality is that they are, in fact, fascists themselves. Did I read that accurately?
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspectives with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this mass deportation.
You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you, General?
Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
I guess MAGA does not respect the military. There he is right there insulting a major general because the major general had the nerve to question Trump's crazy deportation plans. And John Kennedy isn't the only one.
Right. 13 million people you want to dump into the labor force.
They are already
who will drive
in the labor force,
illegally.
Senator.
They're here,
yes.
taking jobs
so
from American citizens. And so, perfect.
This.
So here's your plan. So just if you're wondering, America, here's the Democrats' plan. Take the 13 million plus illegals who are here, taking jobs from Americans, taking wages down, taking health care benefits, and bring them here legally so that they can continue to drive down wages, flood the labor force, and suppress
Senator
all of
Hawley,
the above.
They can't flood the labor force if they're already part of the labor force, which is
they
the
are flooding the labor
today.
force now. That's what's happening now.
That witness is 100% right. They can't flood the labor force when they're already in the labor force. And by the way, most of those 13 million undocumented immigrants are here doing good, helping with the economy, paying taxes, being part of the economy, and yet Josh Hawley and company want to deport them. Some of these undocumented immigrants are doing things like this gentleman.
Mr. Toure, are you undocumented? Pardon me, say it again.
Yes, Senator.
And why are you undocumented?
I came here from a civil unrest. I had no choice. My life was in danger. My mom told me the story when I was trying to get my driver's license.
How old were you when you came?
I came here when I was 7 years old.
What do you do today?
I'm a prosecutor. I represent victims of crimes and go after heinous people that have committed crimes against the Morin's family.
You talked about Ms. Morin's situation a minute or so earlier, but the perpetrator of the crime against her daughter Rachel would be the type of person that you would prosecute?
Yes, Senator.
I think there is a fundamental difference we're being asked to acknowledge here. Is there a difference between Mr. Toure and the animal who attacked Ms. Morin's daughter? Of course there is. This man, for a living, is prosecuting criminals. This other individual is a clear criminal with a record. When we say massive deportation, should we consider them the same because they're both undocumented?
And that's Senator Durbin finally talking some logic, making a distinction between undocumented immigrants who might commit crimes and undocumented who are here, who are helping America. This gentleman is a prosecutor, so he's putting away bad guys. And yet MAGA has painted all of these undocumented immigrants as bad people that gotta go. They originally said that they want to just deport the gang members and the rapists and drug dealers and all that stuff. But now they're saying, hey, if you came in here illegally, then you're undocumented, and you're undocumented, you got to go. And you saw that gentleman who's the prosecutor. He came because he was fleeing a bad situation, and he came with his family. and he's been in America his whole life, and now he is in danger of being deported. Let me just start by saying I'm an immigrant myself. I came to America when the revolution happened in Iran and my family had to flee, as did a lot of other families when they fled from war or when they flee from bad situations. No one's in a great situation and goes, hey, let's leave here and go somewhere where we don't speak the language and they don't want us. But MAGA has done a good job of turning this into a political talking point. And again, they're going to go after everybody. And let's go back to what Josh Hawley was saying. He was saying these undocumented workers are here. They're driving down the wages. Since when has Josh Hawley or the Republicans wanted higher wages? They never vote for increasing the minimum wage because they know what's going to happen is as the minimum wage goes up and up and up, their business interests, the people that give them their money are going to say, hey man, you can't keep increasing these wages because now we're going to have to increase our prices and it's going to look bad on us. And so Josh Hawley and a lot of these Republicans never vote for increasing wages. And here he was in that hearing saying, oh, undocumented workers are bringing down the wages. By the way, a lot of these undocumented workers are doing jobs that a lot of citizens don't want to do. And the fact is, if you were to do a mass deportation of a lot of these undocumented workers, you're going to end up in a bad situation where you don't have people that are picking fruits. You don't have people that are in construction, and all of a sudden you're going to start seeing costs go up and up and up and up. Your little basket of strawberries is going to go quadruple the price. So they've done a good job of convincing their constituents that their constituents not getting jobs is because of immigrants, when that's not at all the case. Really, one of the bigger issues is that the economy's changing, and we need to train people to work in the newer economy. A lot of people are not trained and qualified to work in the newer economy. Also, we have automation taking over. Remember, you used to go to a parking lot and there was always somebody, taking the ticket and paying and taking your money. Now it's all automated. Think about all the automation that happens. You go to the airport now, a lot of the stuff is automated. So those are jobs that are going away to automation. So we need to pivot to a new era and have people trained to work in the new economy. And yet, Republicans continue to demonize these undocumented immigrants. A lot of these undocumented immigrants, once again, have come here and done good. Statistically speaking, immigrants commit less crimes than citizens. The biggest threat to Americans are Americans, not immigrants, Americans. Now, that's not to say that if you have criminals, you shouldn't prosecute and or deport them. Of course, if you have a criminal, someone committed a crime, you should prosecute them. And if they're not a citizen, you should, deport them. Sure, let's do that. However, this plan that they have in mind is just bonkers. They want to get the military involved. They want to get the Army Reserve involved. They want to get local police involved. And what's going to happen is if you happen to look brown, they could pull you over and say, show me your papers, show me your passport. And eventually they will deport somebody who's a citizen accidentally or intentionally. So they're playing an ugly game and they're doing a good job of instilling fear. You saw Josh Hawley saying the Democrats want to just bring all these people. They're already here, and they're part of the economy. So it's a crazy, crazy idea. I feel bad for anyone who is undocumented or has come as an immigrant, and they're going to be pursued now. And some of these people, by the way, we saw a lot of Latinos voted for Trump. Well, there goes your auntie. Tia's got to go. Your uncle's got to go. That's what's going to happen. For those immigrants who voted for Trump and this whole system, your relatives are going to be deported and they're going to be insulted. By the way, they don't deport them in a nice way. This is all a big plan to make more money for MAGA and wealthy people. Because what's going to happen is, it's not like they just call you up and go, hey, by the way, you're undocumented. Please get on a bus and just go back. No, they got to round these people up. And then they got to put them in a camp. They're going to come up with camps. Who's going to build those camps? MAGA donors, people that run the biggest prison system in the world. They're going to make nice internment camps to hold people at the border and then eventually deport them. Who's going to move these people with buses, whoever owns these bus companies. There's a big industry in deportation, a big industry. And I wouldn't be surprised if the money gets kicked back up to the head honcho. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being run by the mafia. And the mafia has got some good ground troops, like we saw with Foghorn Leghorn, Senator John Kennedy. Josh Hawley, next to him was that other guy from Cruz. You know, Cruz, that guy from Texas. I hate that guy. Nobody likes that guy. But the point is that the mafia is running this country, and they're saying that your biggest problem are immigrants. That's what they're saying. So they've convinced a bunch of people who are not doing well that they're not doing well because immigrants came and took their jobs. It's not because corporate greed is making billionaires richer and richer. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with brown people. So ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes and don't fall for it, and don't let these bozos run this deportation without putting up a fight. You got to be loud. You got to let people know that you know. I'm Maz Jobrani. I've got a special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. I'm a stand-up comedian. Check it out. If you like it, tell your friends about it. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself.